Hey there and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be looking at the different custom LUTs that I've developed for my Canon EOSM to get different looks from my favorite films. And if you are interested in something like that, stick around because we're going to jump into it. So the Canon EOSM can shoot 14-bit RAW, which is something only very expensive cinema cameras can do. And we get so much rich data information in our video files when we shoot in this format. And what it allows us to do is essentially color grade in whatever way you want. That image is not going to break apart. At 14-bit RAW, you've got complete control over your white balance, over your tint, okay, over any sort of color grade that you want to do. And so what I wanted to do was develop a set of LUTs that really push the Canon EOSM in its 14-bit RAW. And so I decided to model it after some of my favorite films and directors. So let's jump into these looks and see just how we go about using them. So the key is picking a format or a profile that you want to export your videos out of MLV app of. Now I've developed a workflow through Slog 3 out of the MLV app, which is really good. So what I'll do is I'll take my files, I'll make any major adjustments that need to happen to them in MLV app. So if my white balance is wide off, okay, or if I need to try and recover a lot from the shadows or different things like that, I'll make those adjustments in MLV app. And then what I'll do is I'll convert it into Slog 3, and then I'll put that into my editor, which is DaVinci Resolve. So let's jump into DaVinci Resolve now and look at some of these different looks that I've created. All right, so the first look we're going to get into is the natural look. This is just a very standard Rec 709 color conversion, which can be used for any sort of project that you're not trying to stylize in any particular way. Yeah, so very nice colors. I love the natural look. The next one we're getting into is the Joker, and this is kind of known for its sort of warm greenish and pinkish sort of hues, if you've ever seen that. So yeah, love the look that comes out of the Joker, and that's a pretty unique LUT there. The next one we have is Once Upon a Time. This one gives a very vibrant, very saturated feel, or vintage feel. And so yeah, that's a pretty cool look that you can use to create some nostalgia. Next one is a little bit less vibrant, but still got that sort of more traditional vintage look, which is the natural vintage. So yeah, great LUT there also. The next one we have is the Wes Anderson look. This is a very dialed in, this is a very polarizing look, you could say, where you're wanting to use, you're wanting to make something that's very creative. The next one we have is the Batman. This is a very desaturated, the exposure is a lot lower, it's a lot moodier, this look, and yeah, and if you're wanting to create anything with any sort of darker mood, the Batman is definitely a great LUT for that. And lastly we have Sicario, which is great for any sort of action or kind of intense emotions, emotional themes in your clips. So yeah, those are the different LUTs that will come in the LUT pack, the EOSM Magic LUT pack. Now, as you can see, these LUTs were actually very extreme in their grading. And so generally what I do is I'll use these LUTs at a lowered percentage in terms of their opacity. And so generally I'll knock it down to maybe somewhere between 60 and 80, and then I'll just increase the contrast and any sort of exposure changes that I need to based on pulling that LUT down. And that's typically where I get my looks for yeah, the Canon EOSM and using these LUTs on them. So if you're interested in buying these LUTs, please head down below to my Ko-Fi link down in the description. You'll be able to check these LUTs out, look at all the different examples I've got there. And yeah, I'd appreciate your support and any comments on using the LUTs and how you're enjoying them or what you think they could be improved on. Other than that, have a great day and thanks for stopping by.